What if I told you that Pinkie Pie's family hides a dark past that no one knows about? Each pony represents a different negative feeling, and that drastically changes how we see their stories. Let's further and see the most bizarre secrets in the Pie family. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and in the Cutie Mark Chronicles, Pinkie Pie says that she grew up on a rock farm with her sisters, and their day was basically break rocks, gather rocks, and shape rocks. That's it. Not talking, no laughing, no flowers, no music, just rocks. Have you ever imagined growing up in a place where joy appears to not exist? And that's not by chance. The bad vibe of the farm has everything to do with their parents. Ignis Rock Pie and Claudie Quartz are really traditional, the kind of parents that live by the old days, really. Like grandparents that had arranged marriage kind of thing, you know. Claudie even comments that their marriage was arranged. They didn't choose each other. And a detail that not a lot of people remember, they sleep in separate beds. Yes, separate beds. Did you notice that? Leave a like for me to know. Let's begin with Ignis, the dad. We can see that he's the house's boss, serious and strict. It seems like the type of fathers that lays the rules and everyone just follows them. If we think about the old times, this was really common. The man was responsible for the family's business, who ran the family, while the others just followed what he says. And look how funny, maybe he got frustrated by his oldest child that was a girl and not a boy. Have you ever thought about that? And that totally reflects on Limestone Pie. She's always mad, tough, always bossing her sisters around. That's because deep down she knows she'll take her father's place in the future. She carries a huge responsibility on her back and maybe skipped her whole childhood for that. Ignis appears for the first time in the flashback from Pinkie Pie back in the Cutie Mark Chronicles from season 1. After that, he shows up in Magic Duel in season 3 when Trixie says that she had to work on a rock farm in order to survive. And that farm was Pinkie Pie's one. He also appeared in Heartbreakers from season 5 and in Christmas episode. Gives Cutie Mark a pixache. Kinda blunt, right? Now, Claudie Quartz. She's the mother, but seems as distant as the father. Kinda indifferent. Shows close to no emotion whatsoever. Anyone notice that? Comment down below what you think about her style. And guess what her cutie mark is? 3 rocks. By the way, Pinkie Pie is the only girl in the family who doesn't have a rock-related cutie mark. Weird, right? Limestone Pie is the oldest daughter, and if you watch Heartbreakers, you surely remember her. She is portrayed as a super aggressive, stressed, and overprotective to a giant rock in that farm, called Holder's Boulder. Yes, she takes care of a rock as if it was her treasure. But let me tell you something between you and me. We get it, right? As the oldest, she carries a lot of responsibilities on her back. The farm depends on her, and it seems that everything has to be just the way she wants. It's almost like she is on edge all the time. So she takes it out on whoever is near her, and it's even worse if someone messed up, according to her standards. Do you know someone who's just like that? Comment down below. Now, let's talk about Maud Pie. She is the sister that most appear in the series, and let's be honest, she is a mystery. Maud is mentioned back in the Rocking Palooza party and appears in a childhood photo in the episode Pinkie Pride, but she truly shines when she appears as an adult in the episode entitled Maud Pie from season 4. Unlike most of the family who kept working on the farm, Maud decided to study. Like, she studies a lot. She became a researcher and is making a doctorate in rock science called geology in the real world. Yes, this exists in the Ponies universe, and she takes it seriously. There's just one detail. Maud appears to feel no emotion at all. Did you notice that she always speaks in the same tone of voice? No emotion, no expressions, all neutral. This isn't just a quiet personality, you know. It might be a signal to alexithymia, a condition that the person has trouble to identify or express its own feelings. Growing up on a place where no one talks about their feelings, where smile is most like a sin. This could have made Maud's hide her feelings since she was very young. She might have learned that expressing them was wrong, or that expressing them could lead to a scold by her parents. And although it seems just a weird behavior, this could make her isolated from the others and trouble connecting with people. Oh, and before moving on to the next sisters, take this fact. In My Little Pony Pony Life, Pinkie mentioned that she has a brother called Octavio Pie that appeared in the episode Death of Sales Pony, but very few people remember that. Maybe he also grew on the rock farm with all these rules and repressed feelings? Leave your theories down below so we can discuss them. Marble Pie is the youngest sister, and who knows her remembers that she barely speaks. She almost always hums, just like Big Mac in this Yups. Remember? But look, did you notice that she seems to be more scared than shy? Because being an introvert is one thing, like Fluttershy for example, who is shy but confident in her own way. Marble seems to be always afraid of expressing herself, like she was hiding for something all the time. Maybe that comes from how she was raised. Think about it. What if her parents were so strict that she learned to stay quiet because she feared to be punished? It's like Maud's case, but instead of having the feelings of a rock, Marble closed herself because of the fears and insecurities. Does that make sense to you guys? Have you ever thought about that? Don't forget to like and comment down below. I'm curious to know about your opinions too. And of course, Pinkie Pie, the most joyful and chaotic pony of all the time, right? But look, she's so linked to joy. Which negative feeling does she hide? That's right, sadness. If we dig up deep, we might even find depression. When we see Pinkie as a child, she always with a sad expression, heads down, walking with no energy whatsoever. This all changes when she sees that supersonic rainbow that strikes a spark on her. A magical wind that lifts her hair up, and that's it. Pinkie Pie as we know is born. Playful, joyful, colorful, and crazy. And here's a fun detail. Pinkie Pie's straight hair represents the tradition, everything her family is. Now, curly hair, crazy and messy, represents her rebellious side, her liberty. Like, she freed herself from that sad environment. But this sadness didn't fully disappear. It come back in 2 episodes, Party for One from season 1, and when she thinks of her friends forgetting about her birthday, and in Yakety Sax from season 8, where her hair gets straight again when she gets sad. And how does depression work again? Ups and downs. Even when someone seems happy on the outside, she might still be dealing with some dark feelings inside. And we have a moment that says everything about how the family lived. When Pinkie Pie does that surprise party to celebrate the rainbow that she saw, she says that's what I call a party. Like she is discovering something completely new. Imagine how strict that household was, that no one knew what a party is, not a word for it. And that's the weirdest part in this family reaction. They start to tremble their lips, like if they were trying to smile for the first time in their lives. It's really crazy to think that the moment of joy was so strong to them that it even caused a physical reaction. This shows how sadness and oppression were normalized in this family. Now that begs the question, what if something magical happened with all the sisters? What if each one of them had an emotional blast, like Pinkie had with her rainbow? What would be the opposite saves? Marble would become brave, Maud would start to feel something for real, and Limestone would be able to relax and have some fun. Imagine that episode. Which transformation would be the finest, the coolest? Comment it down below. And look how funny. The name of the family pie has everything to do with rocks, literally. The father's name, Ignis Rock, comes from the rock that's formed by a volcan heat. This really matches his personality, right? Cold on the outside, but intense on the inside. Now, Cloudy Quartz has an interesting contrast. Cloudy as something lighter origin, maybe even gentle. But her surname Quartz shows sturdiness, hardness, just like her behavior. we can imagine that. With time, she hardened herself like quartz does when it crystallizes. The same goes with the Pie sisters. Limestone and marble, and that matches their cutie marks. Even their color followed their pattern. Gray shades, opaque, like rock, really. Maud is the only one that doesn't have a rock name, but still she behaves as one. Closed, hard, serious. Now Pinkie? She was born pink, vibrant, completely out of the family standards, and that's why she got her name Pinkie. Not just because of the color of her body, but because she was different from the beginning, like a precious gem among the regular rocks. So in the end of the day, the Pies are a much more complex family than it seems. The father represents oppression, the mother indifference, Limestone anger, Maud coldness, and marble fear. And Pinkie, as weird as it sounds, sadness. Behind all those rocks, a lot of feelings are hiding. Now tell me, which of these sisters you relate the most with? Thank you a lot for watching this video till here, and hasta la vista!